I think his future is bright. As far as his future with us, we'll kind of see how that goes. Brian Guntgoon says on Jordan Love. Is that because he's in the middle of trading Jordan Love right now, you think, or what's going on?
No, and I don't think I do think they had some interest. I don't think they had any offer that would make it so they had to move on from him. The problem is his value as a backup is like real. That is an important thing. I guarantee somebody would trade a 5th rounder for Jordan Love. I'm sure somebody would trade a 4th rounder for Jordan Love. But is that enough for the Packers? God forbid something happens to Aaron Rodgers. Is that enough for the Packers? So you know what, we'll do this, we'll figure it out later. They want the security of Love, who knows their system, who they still like. We don't know if he's going to be what they think he's going to be, but they still like him. None of those deals would be enough for them to give up on their backup in case Rodgers gets hurt. Now, if someone's willing to give maybe a 2, definitely, or a 3, maybe, then I think they would say, you know what, we'll take the draft pick, we'll sign a veteran backup, and we'll deal with it. It's just the value hasn't come close to meeting what they would do for him.
It has been a very interesting offseason for the Green Bay Packers, and for the most part, if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, you're probably feeling happy, but at the same time a little sad about how the offseason went down. Some very difficult decisions had to have been made, but ultimately you were able to retain Aaron Rodgers, which, going into this offseason, I'd assume was the top priority. Break! Check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Aaron Rodgers was one of the biggest mysteries over the past year. I mean, over a year ago, Adam Schefter showed up on the day of the NFL draft and dropped a bombshell saying that Aaron Rodgers was very frustrated with the Green Bay Packers front office. That turned into one of the biggest storylines of the entire year. And going into last season, the question was, what are the Green Bay Packers going to do at the conclusion of the season? Obviously, the Packers didn't finish where they wanted to finish. They finished a little bit prematurely as the Green Bay Packers lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs last year, which resulted in a lot of people asking the question, was this Aaron Rodgers' final season in a Green Bay Packers uniform? A lot of difficult decisions were soon had to be made. The Green Bay Packers were in a situation where they had to make some difficult decisions very soon. They had one of the worst salary cap situations in the entire NFL. They drafted Aaron Rodgers' successor during the 2020 NFL draft. This was his second full season sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, and unlike Aaron Rodgers, because a lot of people like comparing this to the Brett Favre Aaron Rodgers situation when Aaron Rodgers was drafted to the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love wasn't necessarily a player that was in the top 5 on any draft expert's big board. He was perceived as a project QB, whereas Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback that could have easily been taken number 1 overall in the 2005 NFL draft instead of Alex Smith, but was perceived to be a little bit risky, and as a result, he slid down all the way to the Green Bay Packers, who inevitably ended up selecting him, and he waited a few years behind Brett Favre. We have a whole video on that. It's our most viewed video on this channel if you want to check it out. But in this situation, the Green Bay Packers decided to select Jordan Love in a draft that featured some remarkable wide receiver talent. I mean, Jordan Love was selected with the 26th overall pick. Bear in mind, the Green Bay Packers traded up for the opportunity to select Jordan Love out of Utah State, which is ironic because Alex Smith went to Utah. There's some correlation over there. Jordan Love was selected 7 picks ahead of T. Higgins, 8 picks ahead of Michael Pittman Jr., and if you really want to get nitpicky about it, which I don't really like doing that, but he was selected ahead of the likes of Jonathan Taylor, Laviska Shenault, Chase Claypool. There was some good talent to be had at that pick, and so far, based upon how Jordan Love's career has gone, through no fault of his own, mind you, for the most part, I'd say that his value is about a 4th or a 5th round pick at this point. I mean, a player that you're drafting to be the backup to a transcendent talent. If you look at other quarterbacks in the past, Jimmy Garoppolo was a 2nd round pick. Jacoby Brissett was a 3rd round pick. Hell, Ryan Mallett was a 3rd round pick. And Jarrett Stidham was a 4th round pick. All of these quarterbacks at some point or another were tabbed with eventually becoming the successor to Tom Brady. None of them ended up becoming the successor to Tom Brady, but the New England Patriots had the same exact issue with Tom Brady a few years ago as the Green Bay Packers were having with Aaron Rodgers. During the 2000 2020 offseason. And this is going to sound very comical, but bear with me here. I've said this many times on this channel. Whenever a brand new regime comes in, a brand new head coach, a brand new front office, typically they like getting their guy under center. In an ideal world, they're able to get their quarterback. Well, when you're in a situation where you have Aaron Rodgers under center, then in his first season under his brand new head coach, he throws for 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. You might be looking at him and thinking, oh, this isn't the Aaron Rodgers of 2016 who threw for 40 touchdowns and 7 interceptions and 4,400 yards. I guess the Green Bay Packers, like the New England Patriots back in the mid-2010s, were thinking that, hey, normal people at this point tend to slow down. Normal human beings tend to decline in their mid to late 30s. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the Packers and the New England Patriots, both of their quarterbacks ended up performing remarkably in their late 30s and early 40s. In Aaron Rodgers' age 37 and 38 season, he threw 48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions with a 71% completion percentage at the 2020 season, which is kind of a gigantic middle finger to the Packers for drafting Jordan Love to begin with. And then last year, he threw for 37 touchdowns to 4 interceptions for a 69% completion percentage.
Nice.
Which inevitably made everyone realize that, okay, no matter what, you have to bring back Aaron Rodgers. Because the moment Aaron Rodgers is gone, this team plunges into an instant rebuild. Yes, you can make the argument that you could trade Aaron Rodgers for a plethora of draft picks and begin rebuilding around Jordan Love. But when you look at trades in the past for star players, even though Aaron Rodgers might only play for 1, 2, or maybe even 3 more seasons, you'll see that the return on investment isn't necessarily always there. I mean, a good example of this is the Jalen Ramsey trade. At the time that the Jacksonville Jaguars traded Jalen Ramsey to the LA Rams, they received 2 first-round picks and a 4th-round pick in return. Now that those first-round picks and that 4th-round pick was selected, this is how the Jalen Ramsey trade looks like. Jalen Ramsey for K'Lavon Chaisson, Travis Etienne, and Jordan Smith. Now, obviously, it might be a little premature to judge that, as one of these first-round picks have yet to take the field, but it makes a lot of sense why people would kind of be skeptical about trading Aaron Rodgers under these circumstances. Another good example is when the Bills traded up for Josh Allen. The Buffalo Bills received Josh Allen and Austin Proehl, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers received Vita Vea, MJ Stewart, Carlton Davis, and Jordan Whitehead. I'd say that's more of a fair 50-50 trade. I mean, for both teams, they ended up succeeding as a result of that trade, but that's besides the point. Now the Green Bay Packers are in a very tough situation where you have Jordan Love, which you could make the argument would have been a fairly attractive quarterback to trade for this past offseason before the NFL draft, considering how weak the quarterback draft class was, in a situation where he's entering his 3rd season behind Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers just signed the craziest contract a quarterback has ever signed in NFL history, paying him $50 million a year annually. The Green Bay Packers look significantly different. Devontae Adams is gone, Sammy Watkins is in. They drafted Christian Watson, who hopefully could make up for the fact that Devontae Adams is no longer a Green Bay Packer, and they're hoping for some Aaron Rodgers magic over the season as well. But the question now remains, what on earth do you do with Jordan Love? He's entering his 3rd season behind Aaron Rodgers. Do you trade him at this point? Well, according to Ian Rappaport, the Green Bay Packers would want a 2nd or a 3rd round pick for a player that they drafted with a 1st round pick in 2020. What's even funnier than this is Baker Mayfield currently has a way worse value than Jordan Love. The fact that Jordan Love has a significantly higher value than Baker Mayfield to me is hysterical, but the question is, if you're the Green Bay Packers, what do you do at this point? Jordan Love is entering his 3rd season on a 4-year, $12 million contract, and it might result in a situation where the man never ends up starting for the Green Bay Packers and then hits free agency, which would be absolutely absurd. So what do you do if you're the Green Bay Packers? Well, in this instance, it doesn't make a lot of sense to move on from Jordan Love and just receive a 3rd or 4th round pick in return, especially if Jordan Love has been playing in your system for as long as he has, and he's been a player that you guys have been developing. On top of that, you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to retire in a year or 2, so I guess at this point, you might as well hold on to Jordan Love as much as you can, and then maybe when it's time for him to hit free agency, he hits free agency. I honestly don't think Jordan Love is this upset about his situation. I mean, obviously he would like to start as a quarterback in the NFL, but having the opportunity to get paid to literally study behind Aaron Rodgers over the first couple of seasons of your career, no quarterback in the NFL ever gets that luxury. No first round QBs in the NFL ever get that luxury. So he has a tremendous opportunity here to really watch how Aaron Rodgers prepares for games, really work on his craft and not get thrusted out there way too quickly. If you're the Green Bay Packers at this point, it's a no-brainer. You need to keep Jordan Love. Next off season, his value is probably going to diminish even more, considering how many people are projecting a very deep quarterback draft next year. Needless to say, this is a very interesting situation for the Green Bay Packers, and it could go in multiple ways. Either Aaron Rodgers pulls a Tom Brady and plays into his mid-40s, and Jordan Love eventually moves on, or the Green Bay Packers trade Jordan Love, or Jordan Love ends up staying with the Green Bay Packers this season until his contract runs out, and then signs with another team that wants to take a chance on him. Either way, I don't think we've seen a situation like this before in NFL history. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think the Green Bay Packers should do? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.